Foursquare English. In one of the strangest pipes ever made, a Falcon. The briar part screws off. It's like interchangeable bowls. And it's like air cooled. Just kind of a weird pipe. But everyone should have one. They're getting more and more rare, the original Falcons. Pack it up, medium. Not tight, not too light. The airflow is good in a Falcon. They do get hot, like around here. Like literally, you might find yourself holding it like this, not by the bowl. Or kind of like this. But it is light enough to clench. Kind of like Bing Crosby, Hugh Hefner style. Let's give it a shot. That's a char light. Let's see how this puffs. Like I said, it's perfect every time. Every single time. You can probably find them on eBay. I don't even know if they make them anymore. Very streamlined. See how thin it is? It's like thinner. This part is as thin as like a, you know, like the inside of a pen. And then it's got like a normal, you see that? Just like a normal bit. But this does not come apart, to my knowledge. I'm afraid to break it. Great combination of the briar. Now this is a great smoke right now. A great smoke. What makes a great smoke? Well, the draft, you know, the airflow is perfect. Literally, it's perfect. The way that I packed it, perfect. No, I'm just literally sipping in the same way that I would just like sip on this, you know, just like sip a little bit. You're just kind of sipping. Now, I wish all smokes would be like this. You never know when you light up if you're going to have a hard time. You know, is the tobacco going to be too moist? This Foursquare English by Dobies really surprised me. It reminded me of the old early morning pipe because it's not a heavy English. And if I I can create like a nice, rich, creamy smoke, not this kind of see-through, translucent smoke. Let's take a look and see. That's what I like. I like to be. What was the Night Before Christmas, where Santa Claus had a wreath of smoke around his head? I kind of like the wreath of smoke. There we go. Like that. It's nice. That's what I'm talking about. And it gives a nice beard note too, which means it, like, I'm not like in a big hurry to like wash my face after this, because it kind of, imagine sitting out by a fire pit for an evening, having a drink. You know, then you come back in the house. You might brush your teeth. You should be brushing your teeth. Going to bed. And you're laying in bed, and you can still smell that smokiness from the fire pit. Even though you weren't in smoke the whole time, you were just out there kicking back, you can smell it, like on your face and your beard. That's literally what this light English blend does for me. Let's see if I can get the different notes. Now, one of the ways that I can tell the notes from this tobacco is I'm not really pushing the smoke far away from when I take a puff. This is like the normal person, and they're blowing it away. If I want to truly enjoy this, what I will do is I'll just kind of like let it waft out a little bit and then kind of come up, so I kind of smell it a little bit, you know. And certain notes will hit you, certain sweet notes, certain smoky notes. All of a sudden, a oak, like you threw an oak log on the fire, and you know you threw oak on the fire and not a piece of pine. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. A little breeze tonight coming from the door, going through the back window here. It's nice. Birds chirping. All the air conditioner units in the neighborhood seem to have gone off at the same time. Which means they'll all turn on again at the same time. I tend to smoke faster, which kind of heats up the cherry inside the bowl. So right now, this bowl, I can't hold it. I can't. It's burning my fingers right now to touch. Down below, I can, or I can hold it here, or I can do this. So before this metal part gets too hot, I'll hold it down here because I can't hold the bowl anymore. One of my favorite pipes in the whole world was this Danish pipe that I forgot to take the stem out of, and I threw it in a suitcase. You know, when you travel, you should take the stems out of your, you know that, right? Either put it in a hard case, put your pipe in a hard case, or remove the stem. Because just the shifting around inside of a suitcase. Well, anyways, this is a Danmore, and I believe it's like a Danmore. Hold on a second, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Let me put my eyes on it. It's a Danmore 309 Danish pipe. It is one of the best smoking pipes. If you can put your hands on a Danmore. And it's got that oval shank. The grain is just sick. It's crazy. It's so beautiful. I don't know if it's focusing in on that. It's really a work of art. The Danish pipes are incredible. Let me find the stem. So I go on a trip, and I brought 2 pipes with me. I brought, like a cob or something, a couple tins of tobacco, stuff. And then my Danmore. I open up the suitcase, and son of a gun, the stem snapped off in the shank. You want to talk about a grown man having tears in his eyes. Literally, I was like, come on, man. Come on, man. Let me put this down. I have to show you the shank. I mean, the stem. Have to. Hold tight with me for a second. And I don't know what to do to fix it. I can, first of all, just any old schmo stem is not going to fit in it. It ain't going to happen. It's got to be oval. Okay, this is one of the benefits of having your crap together in your little smoking area is that you can find stuff fast, which I'm not finding anything fast right now. That's why you have to keep your stuff organized. I am not going to stop until I find this stem. It's amazing what you find in a pile when you're looking at stuff. It's in here. It's in here. It is. I swear it is. It didn't go, I didn't take it anywhere. Now I got to put on the fan because I'm getting hot. Hold on. Like this fan here, this little USB powered deal. Just enough wind to cool me off. I started talking about my stem that got broke, and then I started sweating. Go figure. It's in here. Oh, I knew I was going to find it. Okay. Let's put this back. Now look at that. Can you see that? That's the stem right there. That's the shape of the stem. So this would have to be drilled out, and a tenon would have to be glued in there, a tenon that would have to fit this. And then when it's together, it is so beautiful. So beautiful. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see the beauty and the design of this thing? I mean, seriously. Let me just kind of go. Hold on. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And it has just enough of a bend in it. And it's flat enough. It's flat enough to kind of clench. And it just looks great. Man, I love this. How would I get that fixed? The weird thing is I don't want to pay a lot of money to fix this thing. I mean, it's not like it's a, you know, like a 100-year-old Peterson or a Dunhill or something like that. But I don't know. I guess I could drill it out with a Dremel or something like that and install a tenon and then end up making it fit perfect. I don't know. It's so beautiful though. Gosh. That happened about 2 years ago. And I keep it where I can see it. Reminds me of my misery of never packing a pipe while it's together. Never. Let me show you another favorite pipe. This Apple pipe. And look at that grain. That's sick. Isn't that crazy? When these things are polished. See, I don't know if you guys are into like grain at all. Can you appreciate grain? Take a piece of microfiber. Not just like rubbing it on your shirt. I'm talking about like a nice piece of like a microfiber cloth. This is pretty unique. This came from a brand new lot that I found at a brick and mortar store. And it was a guy that didn't know what he had. It was more of a smoke shop, like cigarettes and roll your own stuff. And he had a box of pipes from the 70s. And they were like 3 for $28 or something. 3 for $27. I ended up getting these pipes for about $7 each. But look at this Apple. Now, what is this company called? This is a Guildhall London pipe. Can't read that. I need a magnifying glass to read that. But I see some kind of made in England. It's a Guildhall 159. Alright, so I put a little polish on it. Look at that grain. Is that sick? Isn't that crazy? Here's the cool thing. It's a sitter. Which means when I put it down on a table, it'll sit flat. I don't need to put it in a pipe rest or anything like that. It'll literally lay flat on a table. And I like the pipes with really thin bits. Magnificent. And it's also a great pipe for clenching. Maybe I'll pack up a bowl and have this tonight. Sometimes you don't want to just always hang on to the pipe. Sometimes you just want to like while you're reading, you know. I might sit back in the chair and just like that. But my Danmore 309 for 2 years, absolutely destroyed. And I'm so afraid that I'll mess it up if I try to fix it. If I, hit it with a Dremel and put a Delrin tenon in there. Let me fire my Falcon back up so I can get my mind off of my wrecked Danmore. There, that's better. That's better. I like a fan blowing on me when it's hot out, but if you're puffing on a pipe, it ruins the natural loftiness of the smoke. So I'm just going to turn that off. It makes too much noise. Bringing that nice thick smoke back. Let me just cross my legs here and sit back. That's what you want right there. That's what you want. You want that thick, white, creamy smoke. Not smoky smoke. Not like campfire, house burning down smoke. Oh, the note that I just got the creamiest note from the Cavendish. Just literally just went up my nose. It was amazing. And there's just a slight, I didn't even realize there was Cavendish in there. It was nice. Sitting here geeking out on pipe smoke. That's nice. I could be watching like camping and bushcraft videos right now, which is probably one of my favorite things to do. Watching camping videos that are like mostly silent. Like I want to hear some of the chopping of the wood. I want to hear a fire crackle. I want to hear some of the crickets. Nature's antidepressant, Nature's sedative is its sound. And when it starts to feel a little too hot, you just kind of slow down a little bit. Calm that cherry down a little bit in there. let's see, my dad's 85. I guess it was 25 years ago. He and I were sitting out in the back patio. They've been in Florida for 35 years. After about 10 years down there, me and Dad always fought. Always fought. I come from a pretty scrappy family. Us guys fight. Man, we threw blows at one another, cursed one another up and down. Nothing was off limits. My family was scrappy. When will it end? When I die. But the one time we weren't scrapping, my dad would make a great old-fashioned. And I'm going to slow this dog down. And we went out back on the patio, underneath an overhang, and then there was like this, the built-in pool. And we were sitting in the dark, and he made me an old-fashioned in a rocks glass. So every time you lifted it up, you heard the kind of like the sound of the ice in the glass. And when you get done taking a sip, you kind of do that a little bit. And we both had cigars. And I could tell whenever he was puffing on his cigar, because it was pitch black. And I would see the ember, the cherry from his cigar light up bright red and then go back down. Couldn't see anything. It was just like a floating red dot. And I think they were pretty big cigars. Probably like 55. I used to like 5 by 55. That was like my favorite cigar size, which is pretty big. I mean, if you think about that, almost fits through there. So that's 55 is a pretty substantial cigar. And whenever he would take a puff, I'd see the glow get brighter and then get dimmer. And then it would rest as he put his hand down. And then I'd hear the jingling of the ice. Just barely hear some sipping. Jingling of the ice again. Wasn't a heck of a lot of talking. We didn't do a lot of talking. We did more scrapping than talking. One of the things my father said to me once, I don't know, I was probably 40, 45 years old. We were talking about like scars and, a broken nose and this kind of stuff that each of us had from fights and this kind of stuff. And he said to me, now this might not mean anything to you, but it did to me, in a very weird kind of way. He said, one thing about you is you sure could take a punch. That's how my father would compliment me, Like normal fathers talk about your grades in school, how well you do things. My father said, you could take a punch really well. As I would come back from somewhere and I'd have a cut, a bruise, my nose was smashed to the side or something. Scrappy. Did you grow up in a scrappy family? And my life didn't calm down until I was probably 40. In that way. But the scrappiness exists in my mouth now, my words, which is the final frontier, right? Right? Doesn't the Bible in the book of James, it talks about the tongue can set things on fire. It's like a tiny rudder to a big ship. Yeah. Scrappy. And how did we know it was time to go in that night? There was nothing left in the rocks glass, and the cigar was all done. So, how long was that? Maybe an hour? A lot of hours have passed in my life since that 1 hour. And I had a lot of hours, single hours in my life up until that point. But that 1 hour, I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember it like it was yesterday. One last fire up. Cheers to you. Cheers. Hope you have a good night.